Have you ever felt a strange urge to end a good relationship before they could leave you first? No betrayal, no conflict, yet you started pulling back, creating arguments, becoming distant. If this sounds familiar, you're not alone. You might be experiencing rejection sensitivity. It quietly shapes your relationships without you even realizing it. There's one subtle behavior that reveals this pattern, a hidden sign you might be unintentionally sabotaging connection. Once you see it, everything makes sense. Self-sabotage in relationships is rarely dramatic. It's subtle, gradual, almost invisible. Things might be going well, then something shifts. You stop sharing excitement, hesitate sending messages, you notice small flaws, or pick a trivial fight, not for the issue, but to see their reaction. These aren't random, they're intentional distance creation. The secret. Sign, you create space as a defense mechanism. Not because you want distance, but because closeness starts to feel risky. Your brain whispers, if I pull away first, I won't get hurt later. It's an attempt at emotional control. Like bracing for an impact that hasn't even happened, rejection sensitivity reshapes perception. A simple delayed reply becomes loaded with meaning. A neutral okay text feels cold. A partner needing personal space starts feeling like abandonment. Your nervous system stays on high alert. Constantly scanning for threats that may not exist, everything feels real. The anxiety, the overthinking, the fear of being replaced, forgotten, or slowly phased out. A painful contradiction grows inside. You crave connection, but intimacy triggers fear. You want reassurance, but asking for it feels unsafe. So you either cling tighter or retreat completely. Both responses are driven by the same core emotion, fear of rejection. This pattern isn't about being too emotional or too sensitive. It's rooted in psychology, specifically rejection sensitivity, the tendency to anxiously expect, easily detect, and intensely react to perceived rejection. For some, this reaction becomes so strong that even small, imagine slights trigger overwhelming emotional pain. It can feel sudden, disproportionate, and deeply personal. This is common among individuals with ADHD, where emotional regulation can be more challenging, making perceived rejection feel devastating. But it doesn't appear out of nowhere. It often develops from earlier experiences, growing up with heavy criticism, feeling emotionally unseen, experiencing instability, neglect, or bullying. Your brain learns a protective rule. Connection is unpredictable. Stay alert. Over time, this transforms into a core belief. Anyone who gets close to me will eventually leave. Once this belief takes root, relationships begin following a predictable loop. First comes the fear. You enter connection already bracing for loss. Then comes hypervigilance. Every action gets analyzed for hidden meaning. Next comes defensive behavior. You create distance. Emotionally or physically, your partner senses the shift. They pull back, confused or hurt, and your brain immediately declares, see, I knew it. What feels like proof of rejection may actually be a reaction to your own protective withdrawal, not intentional sabotage, but unconscious self-protection. A defense strategy that ironically produces the very outcome you were trying to avoid. If you're recognizing yourself in the cycle, pause for a moment. This pattern is far more common than people admit. And awareness is a powerful turning point. To help you work with these reactions in real time, I've created a simple one-page worksheet called the Rejection Reframe. It's designed to help you identify distorted thoughts, interrupt emotional spirals, and build healthier internal narratives. You'll find it in the description. Understanding the pattern is important, but transformation happens through practice, not by eliminating fear, but by changing how you respond to it. Step 1. Catch the narrative. Rejection sensitivity is fueled by mental storytelling. A delayed message becomes a rejection story. A quiet mood becomes a conflict story. Instead of believing the first interpretation, ask, what story am I telling myself right now? This question creates psychological distance. Once identified, challenge it. Is there another explanation that is equally or more realistic? Your brain is built to predict threats, not accuracy. Step 2. Regulate before reacting. When rejection sensitivity activates, your nervous system can enter a fight-or-flight state. Logic weakens, emotion dominates. Before responding, stabilize your physiology, slow breathing. Grounding through sensation, cold water, physical stillness, you're not suppressing emotion. You're preventing escalation. Clarity returns when the body calms. Step 3. Strengthen self-compassion. At the core of many sabotage patterns lies a quiet belief. I'm not fully safe to love. Self-compassion directly challenges this belief. Instead of attacking your reactions, acknowledge them. This feels uncomfortable. This is difficult right now. Compassion reduces emotional intensity. Judgment amplifies it. Healing requires cooperation with your mind, not war against it. Step 4. Communicate the fear. One of the most transformative shifts is this. Stop acting from fear. Start speaking about fear. Instead of creating distance, invite understanding. Not accusations, not blame, but honesty. When this happens, I notice I start feeling anxious. The story my mind creates is, this builds emotional safety rather than reinforcing defensive cycles. Vulnerability, when expressed calmly, strengthens connection. Rejection sensitivity doesn't mean you're flawed. It often signals a nervous system that learned to protect itself early. The goal isn't to become less sensitive. It's to become more aware, more regulated, and more skillful with that sensitivity. Because the same mind that creates distance can also learn to create security, and that shift changes everything.